Wow. And we're back. Good evening, and welcome to another installment of Highly Unoffended. We're here today on December 11th. Rainy night, kind of raw outside. So guess what? I guess we'll have to get raw up in here. Welcome back, my people. It's December. We got a new president. You know, people fled the country. I don't know what. You know what I mean? Who knows? I just went to work like an average bitch. But yeah, we're here back. We got a great guest with us tonight. We got to get into some nitty gritty. I'm my right hand man tonight, white boy Tim. Tim, how we doing tonight, brother?
Doing great, brother. Glad to be back in the saddle and have some local talent in front of us tonight.
Yes, we got some
a good show.
Very good. We got some local talent. We got what do they call it when you know it's a trilogy? Is that three, right? So what's four? I don't know. Quadrilogy? I don't know. Public school system failed us. And there you go. Public school at its best. But yeah, welcome back. Today we have Connecticut's own police officer and author, Mr. Joe Lopa. Joe Lopa, how you doing today?
Good, man. About time we made this happen.
Yeah, you know how it is. You know, everybody runs crazy. You know, everybody, you know, it's that time of the year. It's Christmas time. You know, what the Andrew Dice Clay used to say, all the girls in the city go, let's go see the tree. You know what I mean? But yeah, everybody runs crazy this time of year. And, you know, everybody's, you know, I don't even know why the stores are packed. You buy everything on fucking Amazon. Why the stores packed? I haven't bought a thing at a store.
Well, it's like books or like newspapers. Some people still like the tangible stuff, going there shopping. It's killing time, is getting out of the house, right? You do everything on your own.
I was talking to Robbie. Remember when Amazon just sold books? Like when you went to Borders or Barnes and Nobles, and the person there would say, "We don't have it. Go on Amazon,"
Right.
And that's all you bought on Amazon.
Right.
You bought fucking books. They gave you the ISBN number, and you took that bitch and got it. But like nobody says, "Oh, I'm buying shampoo on Amazon," and now you buy everything. It's kind of crazy. But hey, man, sign of the times. That's why there's stores going under and mad retail real estate everywhere. You know what I mean? Because guess what, man?
Well,
These
the stores
stores
in New York City are the only ones probably hoping that the stores stay open, right?
pretty much, you know, can't loot. You know, yeah, we had the case this week. So now they're saying, now BLM is crying for vigilantism. You know,
Coming to a town near you soon, rest assured.
Yeah, coming to a town near you. And what a lot of people don't understand is like, if you've never ridden a New York City subway, dude, you're at your own risk.
Oh, yeah.
You got it's an asylum. You got mental health guys and these, you know, and they'll fuck with random people.
You know, I was just down there maybe 5-6 months ago, and I haven't been out to the city in probably 10 years.
Damn, we're down there all the time.
Yeah,
we're in the city all the time.
So I went down there with my kid. It was my kid's first time down there, all three of them. And it is not the same. Like we were walking up and down the streets, there was like addicts all over the sidewalk, needles out of their arms, and I'm like, dang.
Giuliani cleaned everything up.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great for the longest time.
It's looking like California now,
Yeah.
you know?
I know.
It's real, man. It's real.
Yeah. My kid got spooked too. He went to California and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I was like, we gotta go to Times Square. We
Yeah,
gotta see it.
gotta do it.
Could we go?
Yeah.
Marijuana everywhere. You know, that's one thing, but
Right.
just like you said, yeah. I was like, you know what?
wrapped up, like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nuts. Yeah, like I said, you know, you go on the subway, and it got really bad, you know, a couple of years ago after COVID because nobody was going to work. So they went down there and made themselves at home because it was warmer.
Right.
And then, you know, they had to kick them out and everything. But yeah, you got too. It's just it's a fucking it's an asylum.
Mhm.
You go down underneath, man.
Mm.
You know, I was down there what, years ago. I remember, and this dude started yelling at a friend of mine. You know, just because she was white, just started screaming at her, and I'm just like, my man, back up.
Right.
And you know, I had to tell him, you know, I'm not afraid of a problem. I don't want a problem, but I ain't afraid of it. And I said, you know, but yeah, man, it's just too many mental health dudes walking around, bro.
Yeah, and there's so many tourists there though too. They probably get away with that. So many times people just cower away.
Yeah, because you know they walk around with their head up their ass, and you know,
Yep.
oh my God, look at the sights, look at the sights.
Right.
That guy you just mentioned, the guy who was killed.
Yep.
You know what I'm referring to.
You can say it, you can say it.
I heard just today that he was on. I never even had a list, but he was on the top 50 list of most. I'm just guessing at this. I don't know if it was the most dangerous, but he's on the top 50 list of these homeless people with these mental health issues. He's been arrested. I think this is 40 times, 7 years and shit. But
Yeah, so that's
all
just.
right.
So Joe, so this is your fourth book, correct?
Third is
Third?
coming out
Third?
Tuesday.
Third.
Fourth I just started.
Fourth, you just started.
Just ain't stopping. Just keep going.
So you're local CT guy.
Yeah.
You know, you're on the job. How many years?
19 2 days ago.
D-Zam, congrats, brother. Congrats. We could call you a veteran officer now.
Yeah, it's funny. I was just telling Tim, like walking around the PD now, every room I walk in, I'm looking around, I'm like, man, I'm the oldest motherfucker in the room.
Yeah.
Like everywhere.
Are they giving high school kid tours today? That's cute.
Yeah.
You know, hey, shouldn't you be in study hall?
That's how I feel now. I do a lot of hiring stuff, and you're just like, man, it's like a child. But I look like that once too. I was like that. Yeah, but when I was 25 when I got on, I used to catch a lot of heat from people.
I was 21.
Yeah, see, that's great.
I was 21.
I wish I was 21.
It's gonna be a few days before the ladies get to see this on YouTube, but Joe's a dilf. You heard it here.
You know what I mean? I remember I'd have guys call me on the radio. They'd be like, yeah, your mom's in front to pick you up. I'm like, damn. And I'm like, yeah, you're 50 with 10 years on the job. Slow down.
Yeah.
Don't laugh at me. I'll laugh at you. But yeah, it's good to get on early. So you said you do backgrounds?
Well, yeah. So with the polygraph,
Yeah.
Portion, I'm pretty much the first person that really dives into them.
You know what I did backgrounds also.
Mm-hmm.
You know what really fucking shocked me?
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking for a big boy job, big girl job.
Mm-hmm.
And your fucking email is fucking dickdaddy at
God.
Gmail, twerk
Dude.
mommy at AO, and I'm just like, so when we worked in the unit, we used to have a competition every week. Everybody would write the dumbest email you got at the corner of the board, and whoever had the best one, the worst one, we had to buy you lunch.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember one time a big boss came through, and he looked at the corner of the board, and he goes, the fuck is that?
Applicants, man.
And like the other guys were scared, but I knew this guy because he was my lieutenant, 18 years ago. And he goes, what the hell is that on the board? And I explained to him, he goes, you're kidding me, right?
Yeah.
I go, no, those are applicants. And he's like, you're telling me some chick got twerk mommy 69?
Oh, yeah.
And I go, because that's the email I would give the school, so my wife could tell the school teacher that she's bringing the fucking muffins in or something, or the donuts. Twerk mommy 69.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you're looking for a real job, and that's the email. You can't put like your initials, your birth date at Gmail. You gotta put, fucking Papi Chulo, big dick. And I'm just like, yo, you're a dumb motherfucker.
Yeah.
I hope you never get a job.
That's
It's crazy.
They are.
But it's not, when I first started doing background stuff, we would get, and I'm sure Gretchen's seen the same issue. Like you get all these applicants. I used to do 300 polys a year. Now, when I got hired, I'm sure it was the same with you. It's like 1,500 people taking that written test. I hired 13. Yeah. Now you get like 30, 40 people showing up. So you're like, all right, well, move along.
Fuck the police.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that we're lowering standards, but like, you're gonna maybe push people a little further than they would have.
I wonder. I don't want to get on the rabbit hole here.
Go ahead. We gotta hit the book. It's okay,
Yeah,
brother.
I
Come on.
wonder, like especially this guy Tom Holmes.
Mhm.
He's fucking polarizing, man.
Yep.
I'm behind him. I don't know if you heard. He's gotten a bunch of these retirees who are. He said I had to close my LinkedIn account because so many of them were reaching out to me wanting to come back and do the job again.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going to see a shift again now with Trump back in office and guys like Holman and Hesketh and people like that.
I don't know. I mean, I listen. I'm not one of those guys that talks bad about the job as a workshopper. It's been really good to me.
Now you're a big G. The girl,
Well,
you got the money.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't, like I was saying earlier, I don't want my kids doing it. Like just the way the society is today, and like the way it's, my father and my grandfather were both cops in Hartford, and it was a different type of respect back then. You know what I mean? It's like police came, respected. Now it's complete opposite.
No,
Like,
that's
my kids were, 18, 19 nowadays. They go be a fireman or go get a trade. Go be an electrician, HVAC, stuff like that. Things people don't want to do.
welder.
Welder, that's the one.
Welder,
That's the one right there.
They're hurting right now for
Big
welding
time.
and plumbing.
Yep, and that's big money.
Dude.
Yeah, do a apprenticeship for a year, open your own company, cost your ass for 6 years, and then sit back.
My other co-host Ramon. His kid went into the HVAC trade.
Yep.
The kid's the first one on the job, the last one out.
Mm-hmm.
They're showing that kid so much love,
yeah. Yep.
so much love.
Because nobody wants to do it though either. Like when they get someone that comes in and actually wants to
Oh,
work.
the kid's a stud.
Treasure.
Yeah.
The kid's a stud, and they gave the kid a take-home van,
Yeah.
and the boss is loving him. So he did his apprenticeship there, and I guess at the end, the boss goes, you want to stay, kid?
Yeah.
And he threw him a couple bucks, and he's sending them to 1 million schools. It's just because these kids, they ain't about that lifestyle. They ain't about that hard work.
Yeah. It's Dana White, I think, is the one that always says, it's like, if you're a young kid today and like you're a savage, he's like, you will
That was Dana.
own this world.
Yeah,
man.
that was Dana. He said that.
Yeah, and it's true. It's true. Because we see it. I mean, younger guys, they don't want to work overtime. They want to, and that's fine. I get it. It's good. I mean, in this job, you should want to like
They've
it
got to
too.
balance it.
Yes.
Nothing else.
But you gotta want. I mean, you ain't gonna go nowhere. Either.
I don't
It's
know,
just
man.
stagnant.
I don't know. I was raised that God gives you the energy when you're young, so you work. Because
Right.
when you get older, you ain't got the vinegar. Come on, man. It's like now you work a couple doubles, boy. You home licking your wounds like a
Yeah.
cat for the next couple of days trying to rebound.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
think I'm working harder now than I ever have. But because when I was younger too, I worked a little, but I was having fun. Like going out, own my house. And then it was.
Well, when you look at that, you got to share yourself as much as you can.
It's a travesty if you don't.
Suffer now. Live the rest
Yeah,
of your life like a
that's
champion.
right. Yeah.
Be a man. Don't complain.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you start with your first book, Joe?
So early 2021.
Pandemic time.
I started writing. Yeah. Yeah, a buddy of mine, I think I was telling you about Brian, who ended up leaving the job. It was funny because Brian's.
Yeah, I want to. McCarthy's trying to link me up with him.
Oh yeah, I can get you.
Yeah. McCarthy's
He's tough to get a hold of now, but like
he's big time now, right?
Yeah,
he's big time.
He's a big boy.
Oh, you got to put the word in for him because I know he's big time. So
Yeah, I
we
got
big time too over here. We big time.
I'll make it away. I'll come with him that way.
All right.
I get to have. Tell him to get to hang out with me.
There you go.
I spent almost, I think it was 9 years in the youth bureau doing crimes against kids, and that's one of those jobs. I mean, in law enforcement, you don't talk about nothing, you don't address nothing, but you constantly, dead babies, sexually assaulted babies, these forensic interviews, child pornography, and it is just popped one day.
Can't unsee it.
Oh yeah, and what do? We just joke around, we laugh, we make jokes about everything, and it's not the type of thing I go home and talk to my wife about. Like, oh, hey, I was work. Oh, well, I was watching this child porn this morning, and so you don't address it, but that stuff sticks in you. And I popped, and I lost my mind. I was cuckoo, like EAP, the whole nine. Like I went.
Cuckoo, man. You just, your cup overfilled.
Yeah, and it pops. I see Brian once a month. We go out, we get breakfast, we catch up and whatnot. And, we were talking, and he was like, he could tell I was a disaster, and he was like, man, you should start writing. Like, I think this will help you. Like, start writing.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, yes. And, like I told you, I was never a student, you know what I mean? Not even I read a little, but
You're never that scholar.
Nah, but you know, like when I was in college, I was in the movies. Like I was doing some of that film stuff and editing. Like so, I always like storytelling. So I wrote one, and he read it and was like, oh, it was good. He was, it was dark, like it was like deep stuff. You know what I mean? Like that stuff you're really trying to get out. And he's like, oh, let's try writing like a real series, And so I wrote it, and I was about halfway through, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll send over what you got. I want to see how it is, see how it's going." And he didn't tell me, send it to his publisher, and then they wanted to sign me to a publishing deal. I was like, "Damn, bro, really?" So, and
that's what it's really hard to get published right now because these publishers now are all with that anti-cop narrative.
Yeah, and they're so there's a bunch of things that they're actually trying to do. One of the programs they were trying to build, and we'll see if they end up doing it, was a badge to pen program where they're taking law enforcement and having people submit, because there's a lot of good stories in there. Like we've seen a lot of things. You can create these stories.
And people are always starving for this kind of stuff. There's so much of stuff out
there. Yep. But I remember I had a Zoom with the owner of the publisher, and I was talking to him, and I'm like, hey, listen, this has just been writing has been so therapeutic for me. Like, I don't care if I make $1. Like, this has been great. And he's just kind of looking at me, and I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? And he's like, well, we're in it to make money. He's like, so we're going to make some money. I'm like, yeah, no, I want to make money too. Like, I'm not saying I don't, but for me, money would be great. But I would do it regardless, because it's, you need an outlet of some sort. I think
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's something that we don't think about in this profession, but
it's like they say, the problem is nobody tells you that it's okay not to be okay. And another thing in this profession, the second you say you're not okay, they're pulling your gun and you're on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're labeled as bad goods. You're damaged.
Mm-hmm.
So now all of a sudden, you just put yourself on a glass shelf because, you're not okay. The machismo says that you can't hang, you can't do the job.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't tough enough for it. You ain't built for it. You ain't about this lifestyle, whatever, however you may paint it.
Yeah. But even within your own police department or correctional facility, you start talking about everybody's like, oh, look at that bitch. You know what I mean? And
still,
but I hit a point now. I don't give a shit. Like I've been pretty open with most people about it the past couple of years, and it's eye opening. Everybody's like, I went through some shit like that too. So
see, that's the other thing you get is right.
Yep, a lot of people.
So now it's safe for me to say something,
right? And I
said so.
When I'm talking to you, even when I teach in the police academy, I talk about it with all. I tell my story, and I'm like, it might happen to you. You've got to find something, especially in a unit like that. There's got to be a 4 or 5 year limit on that. You can't do 10 years of that. So. But I think that the tides are kind of turning with that. I think they're trying to bring a little bit more of that mental health side of it in, and I think the newer generation, is a little more open to it.
Slowly trending.
Mm-hmm.
Coincidentally, I just had an interview today for the program called Safe and Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Garcia, if you're listening, thank you for the opportunity. We'll see what goes, but same thing.
Yeah,
it's
we had a training, like one of our annual trainings, like a week ago or something, and the woman talking was from a local mental health facility, giving the 2-hour presentation on mental health and stuff like that. Nobody in the room said a word, which was kind of awkward. But like I went and talked to her after. I said, hey, listen, like no disrespect, but like you don't work the job, like I'm not gonna say anything to you. So she, oh, what can I do better? She was trying, but I go, nothing. You can't do anything. Not even talking about this. I'll go up and I don't know if you need a certification or whatever. I'll go talk my story. I don't give a shit. I'll jump on the sword.
I said that to a woman, same thing for our agency. And I told her, I said, you don't play our sport.
Yeah.
So for you to come and commentate on us, we really not trying to hear you.
Right.
And I said, no disrespect to you,
right.
but I'm just trying to give you the consensus in the room.
Yeah.
You don't play our sport.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not going to start talking about underwater welding when I don't know shit about underwater welding. I know it looks cool,
right?
But do I know anything about it? No.
Right. It's a shame because they genuinely want to help.
Yeah, she was very nice, and she was like, I respect everything you guys do, and she was super nice. But it was just like, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Control tough is cool.
No. We, the 2 guys from Bristol, his name's the one of those shot and then the one who put the tourniquet on him. They started doing a couple classes on some of this stuff, and it's excellent stuff. Yeah, and I've talked to both of them about it. You know, I have a completely different side than them. You know, I mean, they went through something serious. To me, I look like an idiot, like a pussy. You know what I mean? But it just doesn't matter. Like, everybody goes got different shit they go through. You know, and it took a while to get. You know, I remember the psychiatrist diagnosed me with PTSD, and I'm like, "Fuck you, man!" Like, I wasn't in war. Like, that to me, that was almost.
I was in Iraq.
Yeah, like to me, it was like that's fucked up to those guys that went through that shit. You're gonna put me in that category? Yeah. And they're like, man, the shit you guys see every day, and like, you know, it's not okay. You know, but we're all too tough for that.
Well, while we're here, I want to send a shout out to the clergy that passed away on his motorcycle at the end of summer for the state police. He was here last year when they did the anniversary of the Sandy Hook. And another shout out to Matt Garcia. They wanted to do their podcast. They had no one to do it. Nobody would give them a spot. So I gave it to them. Yeah. And they came here and did it. I produced it. And it was, you know, they had two of the guys that were the first two dudes inside of Sandy Hook that were here. They told their story. Woo! Yeah, I was choked up. And so was the clergy. And he's the guy who got hit on the motorcycle right over here on the highway towards the end of the summer. Yeah. So he was cool. And but yeah, man, that was crazy. But yeah, you know what it is. It's that old school bravado that sometimes puts us in the corner. 100%. And you know, I'm fine. You know, I'm bulletproof, and just sometimes, you know, I don't know. I think it's hard to talk. Some people say you're better off talking to somebody in the gang, or some people say talk to somebody outside of the gang. You know, I don't know.
I think it's different with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, but it's funny, like before for mine, it was just a random autopsy I went to, and I came back and just, well, I mean, I've been to tons of those, you know, but if you told me a day before, like, hey, you're fucked up, something, you know, I'd be like, fuck you, man, I'm all right. You know,
me too. It was one, on all the things, on all those years, it was one thing that still just stick with me and haunts me, that put me over the edge.
Yep. And that's what because it's not one thing, right? Obviously,
no,
it's a
tipping point,
right? Yeah, the
glass overfills,
pops open. Yep, and that's what they say. But yeah, because the one that was nothing different, it was nothing crazy. That's some crazier shit, but it was just man, it overflowed.
The cumulative effect.
Yeah. Yep. But it was, I would say, it was the worst and the best thing that ever happened. You know, I completely changed the way I live my life now.
Awesome.
You know, because it wasn't. What I was going through wasn't like I want to commit suicide, like I'm not okay. It was like I'm fucking terrified of death, like terrified. Like all I could think about was death. So that's why we were talking earlier. I was like, man, I spend money like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
you know, like
it makes more sense.
Yeah, as long as my bills are paid, like, and I know, you know, I spent a long time saving money and doing things the right way, and you get to a point where you're like, what am I fucking saving for? Like, am I gonna die with, I don't mind giving my kids $2-3 million, but like, I want to spend some of that. Like, I want to go places too.
I tell people all the time, I've been to a lot of funerals, haven't seen one U-Haul there yet.
That's right.
And I'm just like, you got to live. But so your boy sent your book to his publisher.
Yeah.
And they wanted you, and then that started number one.
Yeah.
And so yeah. I read some of this one here that I bought on Amazon, The Web of Deception, with Detective Carter Webb.
This is number one.
Okay, no, so this is the first of it.
That's the first
of the quadrilogy.
That's right.
Whatever. Yeah. I'm gonna have some nerd bashing me on the internet. It's called this, you dummy.
Oh yeah.
Somebody's gonna be correcting me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's right there, and there you go, right there. You're good, Tim.
All right.
Yeah, so somebody's going to be bashing me that we're not saying it right.
I'm curious, Joe, so Shay reaches out to you and is like, you should write. Now, you have to pardon my ignorance. But,
yeah. I was in the same boat. So he ain't no ignorance there. I was an idiot too. Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know anything about this world.
He knows a little bit about what we just discussed for the last few minutes, or no?
Yes. And because, like I said, me and him would meet once a month and get breakfast. And, he knows how I am, you know, and he was just like, man, like something's fucking going on with you, you know, and I kind of gave him like a brief rundown, and he was like, you should write, man, like, it'll really help you. So I started, you know.
Did you know, like, did he come right out and say you should write novels like I'm doing, or did he say you should just put pen to paper, put your thoughts on paper?
No, it was more write a novel, because you know, writing something like this, it's not a fake story, you know what I mean? But you could put real emotion and thought into it, like really dumping shit out, but in a fake place. So, like I said, it was super therapeutic. You know, you're putting all this fucked up shit out there. And the first one was, you know, it was bad. You know what I mean? And he was like, oh, it was good, but it was fucked up, you know. So you have to kind of correct it a little bit. But he, you know, he's guided me through this whole thing. He taught me how to build outlines, concepts, you know, character development, all that stuff. And I'm still learning. I don't know anything about this, you know. And the part that you almost feel bad about is there's authors out there that have been writing for 20, 30 years, trying to get something published, trying to do, and I'm like I feel bad. Like I'm islanded on this. Like I'm an idiot. You know what I mean?
No, like
honestly, like you got something. You know,
that's why so many cop movies, so many cop shows, so many cop books, right?
You got the sauce, man. If you got they say, you know, it ain't bragging if it's true. If you got the sauce, you got the sauce.
And you know what's cool, as I said, because like I said, I was like, listen, my grammar is terrible. Like I don't know, I can tell a story. Yeah, it's not gonna look good. But they're like, that's why we have editors. Like, you write the book, we edit it. So they're like, your job is to write. We do everything else. You know, so it was like the perfect fit.
So what is? I'm just genuinely curious, but like, what does it look like at the start? Is it just putting thoughts to paper, and then is it like developing, or are you actually trying to write like you would read in a book? Are you trying
No. So
Okay.
Initially when I started writing, that's what it was. I was writing blind. Yeah, you know what I mean. So like, you know, he said it was good, but there's a lot of cleaning up to do. You know, and you got to learn how to actually write. I know nothing about this world, nothing. You know, so I'm like I said, writing blind. You just kind of come up with a concept, and then I just started writing. And then, you know, like,
how'd you come up with the detective?
Yeah, that was something. I mean, you know, when you're going through the book, there's two characters. There's Carter Webb, who's the main character in this first one, and Richie James, and they're both have my personalities. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the guy I wish I was and the guy I am. You know, and I had a plot line I wanted to use, and then it's just about kind of building it out. And you got to make it long. I mean, it's got to be 40 chapters, 35 chapters worth of stuff, and you know, they kind of taught me how to build these arcs, and you know, this is, you know, breaking it down into different acts. And you know,
I want to write a book where I'm a transsexual detective.
That might work.
Nobody's done it yet, so I think the market's there, and
you know, it's funny.
You'll be laughing when I'm balling, bitch.
You know, it's funny. Shay wrote a book. Everybody told him that he
couldn't. Okay, if he uses your name.
Brian said everybody told him he couldn't write a book with a female protagonist, and he was like, "Well, shit, I can't." And that's his best seller, Rich Kind of series. He's killed it with that one. So yeah, dude, there ain't nobody can tell you can't do nothing, you know. And especially, like I said, I'm 44 years old now, and I'm still I work harder now than I ever have. You know, still figure everything out. I told people I'll sleep when I die. You know, I'm fine. I know. You know.
That rocks. So you started back then right with pandemic, and damn, you're about to go to book number 4.
Yeah, and so after the third one, this one comes out. They said they wanted to sign me to another 5, so I should be up to at least 8 now. But once this third one comes out, they start doing the marketing, so they start pumping money into it. I guess their philosophy, which I agree with, is kind of like the Netflix philosophy, right? So if you want to watch a series, you're not going to watch one episode. You wait till it's like a fall, you binge. So they're like, hey, once the third one comes out, we start pumping it. Once the fourth one's on pre-order, so people read 1, 2, 3, 4 is about to come out, and at that point, if you haven't grabbed somebody, you're not gonna. You know, so it kind of made sense to me. It's a lot of work.
It's like an audiobook, man. An audiobook, you know. I'll listen to anything, but I give it 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what kills me on an audiobook is the guy reading it.
Yeah.
Like if he got a horrible voice, if he's monotone, dude, I want to shoot myself.
Yeah, totally agree.
If, you know what I mean? You know, it's like me and my buddy Dave, you know, we go back and forth with a lot of books because he works construction and he works by himself. So he says he listens to books all day.
Yeah.
And he'll tell me sometimes, because we're a ghetto and we share an Audible account. And I go, how's this book? And he goes, you won't listen to He goes, you won't deal with his voice.
Yeah.
He's always right.
I agree.
He knows me. Like I said, I read a couple, I had a couple of books and I'm like, yo, this guy's a root canal.
Yeah. Don't even matter how good the story is.
And I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm like, nah, I can't listen to you, bro. You're like, I don't know, man. It's like when you want a chick to leave. It's like you're still talking, you're still here. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
You know, man.
I couldn't afford right now to ask a chick to leave.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, so we'll see how this one. If the third one ends up doing all right, they'll end up going to the audio. And it's funny because I work with cops. That's not the market for sales for books, you know. So a lot of guys are like, oh, if there's an audio book, I listen to it, you know. And I get it.
Would you do that or
Yeah, so it'll depend on because audio is expensive.
Yeah.
So depending how once the third one comes out and they start pumping marketing, if it's doing well, then they'll go into the audio. So it should be cool. But again, I'm gonna have to hear the voice.
Yeah,
That's rated.
like I said, it's just some books that I've attempted. I'm like, I can't.
100%.
And then you got a couple guys out there. They got good voices. I'm like, motherfucker,
It'd be a shitty story.
I listen to you read Three Blind Mice.
Right.
You got a good voice.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
agree, man.
when your shit goes to movies, you got to give me and Tim an extra part in there.
I got you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny. So I actually
Tim would look good in a leather gimp suit.
there's so many names in there that are like people I know.
I bet.
Oh,
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, it brought and my buddies like, don't do it, man, because everybody's like, oh, it's fucked up. Why am I doing? I'm like, it's not anybody, but for me, when I'm writing a story, I need to see like a face and a character. So I'll get somebody's face I know.
So is it? I'm dying to ask, and of course you don't have to answer.
No, I got you.
Anybody that you investigated dealt with in the job?
Nope. No, I won't do that.
Coworkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like McCarthy's in there.
Yeah.
Lieutenant McCarthy's in there.
Oh, congratulations.
My brother.
Yeah.
My brother. He's a defense attorney in the PI work for us.
Really?
Johnny Edwards. That's his middle name. So, yeah, he's a lot of those.
Nice.
Again, it just gives me a visual. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And it's funny, when I start writing, when I get in there, like I feel like I'm gonna black out. Like I don't know what's going. Like I just start writing. I don't know what the fuck's going on. So sometimes I don't know what comes out on paper. And I reread that, see what the fuck happened.
I like that.
No, yeah.
You tapped into something that you just never even knew existed. Imagine.
Yep.
That would have sat there dormant. You never would have discovered it. Once you heard everything.
And that's why I say that everything I went through was like the best and the worst thing that ever happened to me, and given this opportunity, you could be like, oh yeah, I'll kind of write when I can. I can tell you, I got a bunch of work I do. My kids, I got 3 boys, 9, 11, 13, 12 different sports.
They got you running, son.
Yeah, 7 of them are
every
travel,
day I'm
12
hustling.
months.
Every day I'm hustling.
Coach a bunch of them, so I'm like, how am I gonna do this? It's not easy, and they want to work every 4 months, which is fast. Yes. So I'm like, when am I going to do this? So I get up at 3:30, go to work, sit at my desk in the dark, type till 7:30. I go downstairs, shower, I go to work, leave at 4, come home, go to kids' practices, get home at 8:30, eat a Pop-Tart, and go back to bed, rinse and repeat.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
Let's get it done. Everybody else will be finding
Yeah,
excuses.
but and that's the thing. Like I said, I don't want to.
You want some Dave Goggins shit, son?
Yeah.
Bro,
You want that Goggins shit?
Let me tell you something. If I were to show you every day from driving to work at 3:30, it was David Goggins. But playing, man, that's what I had playing.
I
love that dude.
You gotta tell him what you're doing. He would love that.
Oh,
Eat that shit up.
You want some Goggins shit, man? Like I remember when his first book came out, I had an Audible, and I was doing a security gig right around this time of year. A little earlier, they were filming a Christmas movie down at the shore for the Hallmark Channel.
My wife writes that.
And I got a call from a friend of mine from NYPD. He's like, hey, you want to do an overnight set stuff? $75 an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, by myself.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? And that's when Goggins' book came out.
Oh.
And I'm over there, 1, 2, 3 in the morning, man. I'm listening to this book. I want to break something.
You don't know me, son.
He's like, yeah, man. And so, I'm telling all these guys, I'm like, yo, you got to get on this Dave Goggins, dude. So I'm sending these guys clips of the books. I'm like, you got to check this guy out. He's the shit.
Yeah, he's got his headphones on doing burpees.
Exactly. 3 in the morning.
That dude will get you going, though, man. Because again, it makes you think, man,
stop being a bitch. Because what's you always talk about? You got to say no to your inner bitch.
You got to change the inner voice.
Callous the mind.
Yeah. And it's true. Because it's funny because I say it all the time to people. you got that voice inside. It's like, you're done. Fuck that. You got to change the voice, and it's up to you, and it's hard, you know. But how many times have you woken up? You know, your alarm goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning. You're like, I'll start tomorrow, or half hour. That's when you gotta go. Fuck that. I'm getting up. You know, and it's hard, but once you start doing it, you get in that rhythm. You know,
that consistency.
I fucking love that dude, though.
I'll do what the mind tells it to.
Mm-hmm.
He's no Joe Goggins, man. He just, you know. Have you seen those videos that dudes are making fun now of him, of like the way he talks?
Oh yeah.
I just ran 23 miles. Oh man, and you know what's funny? He hits like on it.
Oh yeah.
So he doesn't take himself seriously. He's not acting, you know, like a little baby.
Right. No, it's good.
You know what I mean? He's not calling anybody out. But you got dudes like the one guy's like, yeah, we went on vacation to Florida. My family flew to Florida. I'm running there. You know what I mean? I'm running to Disney. And it's like, yeah. But yeah, there's one white dude, one black dude, and they just kill it.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them.
Yeah, those guys are the shit.
That's the problem. Every once in a while I go through that TikTok, just mind numb, just bang. And I'm like,
No, you need that.
100%.
Yeah.
But I do before I go to bed, which is the worst time to do it. Yeah, you know, so that's why I try to start reading.
You know, I start going through it sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's funny because like mine's muscle cars, guns, knives.
Right. It's nothing like
you know what I mean?
serious conversation shit. It's just like I need to get the fuck off Earth for a minute.
Yeah.
That's why my wife only watches like reality TV, all that bullshit. She's like, I just do something soft and fluffy that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know?
Mindless.
Yeah, mindless. It's
mindless.
Yeah, there's too much drama in the world today.
I'm glad that the books are going well for you, man. Glad, you know, to see a Connecticut guy up there and, you know, not knocking it out, man. And it's also therapeutic for you and helping you as a human, as a father, as a husband. And, you know, you're at it, man. And, you know, like Rakim says, you know, you're on a journey and I'm the journalist.
Yeah. It's that old school hip hop.
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah.
People don't know about that.
We're freaks. You're a little younger than us, but we're freaks.
Nah, but this new school hip hop, man, I can't get down.
Trash, dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know, anybody with the name Little Anything.
Yeah, you're done.
You know, sorry, you know, little bitch ass,
Yeah.
little pervert.
I need that 90s hip hop.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So you're working on the next one. Well, hopefully these things turn out, man. And you know, it's kind of funny because you said, you know, high school you were no mastermind.
Yeah,
no,
man.
no, your mom wasn't putting your report card in the fridge.
No magnets for that.
You know what I mean? So you had no magnets for that.
Big magnet to cover that bad boy up.
Cover that D- up. But yeah, man, it's funny because, you know, I read now and like, and people say, you know, oh, you read?
Yeah.
And I go, but I read what I want to read.
Right.
I go, you know, you're not telling me to read some shit that I'm almost 99% is never going to help me in life.
100%.
So it's like, no, you know what I mean? I'm tearing into this. I'm tearing into a book called Homicide, the Godfather of Homicide Investigation from NYPD.
Yeah.
And we're going to go see him in Boca in February. And it's like, I like reading somebody's stuff and then meeting them and, you know, going down. And like I said, you know, we've had some great guests. We've had my man, Raymond Bouchard. You read the book, The Berlin Turnpike, about all the human trafficking?
Yeah.
Dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe that about
you got to come to one of my happy hours. He's a regular.
Yeah.
You talk to this dude, he's like Jacques Cousteau deep, bro. Is he not, Tim?
He is. Yeah.
He's a deep dude, and my man is just, you know, he got no airs about him. But like, you know, one of my other guys, they were like, dude, I talked to him the whole party. Holy shit. Yeah, you got to read that book, The Berlin Turnpike, man. When he did the show with us, and you know, I you know what I mean, the most profound thing that was said during the whole show was what Tim said. He goes, you know, we're all complicit.
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny because I don't know if it's Goggins or one of them talks about like we're all just sheep, like we all just follow the herd. You know what I mean? And it's like it's so true. You just kind of go, oh, I can't do that. I can't do this. And that's the part that was so impressive to me. That was the part that was so impressive to me about Shay, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I was working with him in the office.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Brian's a funny dude. Brian.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a lot going on, and he started writing, and then he was like, one day he was like, I put in my 2 weeks notice. And we're like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm gonna write books. And we're like, what? That's like me, 44-year-old Joe, being like, I'm leaving. I'm trying out for the Yankees. Like, I think I can do it. You know what I mean? We're like, don't do it. And he went through like a year of like, battling the storm. But like, if you want to do something, you fucking go do it. Like, you got to bust your ass, go do it. And he did it. And he's doing really well. But that goes into that, herd mentality of, oh, I can't do that. I'm just going to follow, just keep walking my life. And, that's why I say, like, I wake up early, I bust my ass. If something happens with it, great. If not, I know that I tried as fucking hard as I can. And
it wasn't there for you.
Yeah. And that's fine.
I got a client of mine. He's from New York. This dude owned 64 McDonald's. He was at medical school, didn't want to be there, decided to leave. His godfather was in the Mickey D's business. Calls his godfather, goes, dude, I don't want to be here. He goes, his godfather goes, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. Next day, he was at Mickey D's washing dishes.
Worked his way up.
And he's a client of mine. This guy got 64 Mickey D's.
There you go.
And you meet this guy, no airs about him, pulls in his Tahoe, and you think he's nobody.
Right.
And
that's the best guy, though.
Oh yeah, no, he's real. He's real to death. But if you ever get a chance, check out that Berlin Turnpike.
Yeah, well.
And Raymond Bouchard, man, he's a regular here. He always shows up when we invite him.
There's a lot of crazy things. Speaking of Berlin Turnpike.
Yeah,
you've been out there how many times to remember, right?
Yeah, so like I said, this guy goes deep. He goes down the rabbit hole in the book, man. And like I said, that when you said that we're all complicit, I was like, dude, I just felt
ugh. Humiliated me, kind of.
No, that's why when you said that, dude, that to me, that was the most profound thing that was said the whole episode when you said that. And yeah, man, it's a crazy book that a book,
Well, yeah, that's kind of that Goggins mentality. That's what kind of made me go like.
We had
what are you doing with yourself? Right. And I think the coolest part about writing a book is that whether it works out, things style don't. I mean, it's a decent amount, but it's like 200 years from now, somebody might open that up and read it. Like, that's fucking cool. Like, that's some crazy shit.
Like, and not just read it. Somebody's going to enjoy it.
Yes.
Somebody's going to relate to it. It's going to transcend to somebody.
Right. And that's the coolest part.
And
you left a footprint. You know what I mean?
You're doing the class at the academy. Have you seen this guy yet, Matt Griffin?
No.
Have you heard about him?
I've heard of him. Yep.
He was undercover. Family left. The wife left him with the kids. Everything. He was undercover doing some stuff, biker gang shit. Guy went to a spot up on a hill, and he was about to, bite the gun, and he got a call. And he had a book signing at McSorley's in New York City last year. And, Tim and I woke up early and went into the city on a Sunday. And unfortunately, at 10 in the morning, we're drinking beers at McSorley's.
Not a bad thing.
At 10 a.m. Because the guy,
the owner.
Right? Yeah. So they got coffee out. I don't drink coffee. So the guy goes, "You want a coffee?" I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Take a beer.
And he's like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, "Well, if you're offering it." So we met this guy here, Matt Griffin, and he was on the show. And that dude is salt of the earth. And somebody you should meet.
I've seen some of his speeches before.
Yeah. He does the circuit now, doing the mental health wellness stuff. And great guy. He lights up the room. You know what I mean? Good guy. You would enjoy his story. You would enjoy time with him. And when anytime he's around now, he looks for me and Tim, and we hang out, go get a bite.
Yeah, those people that go through this stuff like that's. There's so many people that do it. Once you start talking about it, you're like, damn, so many people that connect with it. Like shit, it's wild. it's just not talked about. You know, not like very taboo. You know,
Well, you're not, you're not supposed to be not okay.
right.
You're supposed to, be bulletproof and, emotion proof.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like I remember, now there's the whole police accountability
Ooh.
thing. We got to do the site for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I did mine maybe like a year ago, and I was like, I'm gonna go in here and just drop it. And be like, this is what's going on. They're like,
But check it out. If you get hurt on the job, you get praised, right? Right? If you get hurt on the job, you get praised, right? They give you love, oh man, he put it out there. But if you feel in a sort of a way, you're gonna get chastised.
Yeah, different kind of hurt.
Yeah,
not accepted.
Exactly.
The people that will really chastise you are the ones you really don't care about. You know what I mean? I feel like the ones that most people understand and won't say that. The ones that will talk shit, it's like, I don't fucking give a shit about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just my opinion.
But so you put it all out there.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yep. I said whatever. It's funny to me, Dave. We talked. This was a few years ago. We're like, with this new police accountability bill, probably 60% of cops walk around with some sort of PTSD. Complex PTSD. So complex PTSD is what they call it, which is reoccurring, just constant reoccurring trauma. That stuff you see. What are they going to do if they start? You start medically retiring people. There's no way. I'm gonna go in there and why not?
What has been like 4 years now? The accountability.
Yeah.
4 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the week that passed, we had John Kaprinsky from the FOP.
Mm-hmm.
Sergeant Kaprinsky from Danbury PD.
Oh, yep.
I don't know if you know who he
Yeah,
is.
I've met him before. I did a class out there recently. I just met him.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
you met Johnny K out there.
Actually, when I talked to you,
Johnny K, great, great fan of the show.
Mm-hmm.
He's given us love, and he'll always look out for us. So mad love for Johnny K. So yeah, he was out here the week that it was, and he's telling me, he's like, let me retire. He goes, I got numbers to prove it. I just can't say too much now.
Right.
And I was like, okay, I'll wait till you retire. And
it's a slippery slope when you're talking about stuff like that. When you bring a psychiatrist to talk to you, like if you are going to be legit with it, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
They're going to be retiring a lot of people, like legitimately.
Again, two things.
That's why it should be a 20-year job, but it's a different story.
Across the board,
it's a different story.
Yeah. Yep. Like state hazardous pay and all that
100%.
shit. Come on.
Yep.
But like I said right from the start, all these people pushing for this accountability, all the changes and all that stuff, you couldn't. In fairness to them, I sound like I'm being an apologist, but they could not have seen far enough ahead. They could not have seen like all these other, and that's one of them. Just like you said, how many people are out there holding on to this stuff?
Right, because it's not talked about. And like I said, I didn't say so. I teach a class at the high school, and it's an elective class, so they do 8 weeks with the fire, 8 weeks with EMS, 8 weeks with
Awesome.
And I never go into this class like, all right, I got to make these kids like police. I don't want to do that, but I just kind of talk. I bring in certain people. We talk about a bunch of cool stuff regarding police work. And, by the end of it, like when I do, the reviews and stuff, they're all like, man, you guys aren't what I thought. Like, you guys are cool. Like, this is not, I'm like, I'm a normal dude. Like, I drink beer on Sunday. I watch football. Like, I was arrested as a kid. I smoke weed. Like I'm a normal guy. Like I wasn't built in a factory. But we talk about a lot of that mental health stuff, and the calls we go on. It's like even as a patrolman, right? You go to a loud music complaint, and then you go to an 8-year-old that won't do his homework, and then you go to a dead baby, and you go to a shots fired, and you go to a domestic, and then you go to a larceny from Target. It's just this massive roller coaster. Right. And, and that's what people, I think when they think of police, they just think the guy that pulls the car over for speeding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do that. I want no part of that. So, but it is what it is. It's made me the person I am. So I got no problem with the job. I've enjoyed it, So
similarly, I remember going to the doctor several years back, and all of a sudden they have this intake form and they ask you some specific questions about stuff like that.
Mhm.
All the mental health stuff. I'm like, it's not at all what I'm here for.
Right.
But like you, I said,
Fuck it.
Yep. I'll be honest with you.
Mhm.
Not once did it come up during the, let's just say I was there for, I think it was my shoulder.
Mhm.
Even though I answered honestly on this intake form, not once did he ask me a question about anything on there. And for anything other than my shoulder. Why the fuck do you even ask?
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about the, police accountability bill. It's like, oh, you have to do this. And I'm like, all right, we'll just check that box.
That's all it is. Just about. Yeah.
Somebody was probably happy about it. They're getting paid a lot more money.
They feel like they.
And I'm not saying I need to leave.
Somebody justified their position.
Right. And I'm not saying it's like I wanted to go in there and be like, you need to leave the job. That's not what I need. Like, the PD was great to me.
Mhm.
I went up and talked to him. Like, listen, I got to get out of this unit. And they were going to put me on the regular floor. And I was like, listen, if I see another dead body, any dead body, I'm out of here. So it kind of works. I do enough things where they will kind of work with me and create, sort of something. And, it worked out. Good. So I could still be an asset. That's part of what we were talking about earlier. It's like I've done enough training. I do enough things where like I can say, hey, listen, I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and, justify my means. Okay.
Kind of like what's his name? The pilot that landed the plane in the
Hudson.
Sully.
Yeah.
Sully.
When you say I made enough deposits or something that when it came time for withdrawal,
Cash that check.
Yeah. Like you've done enough. You put it forward. You've done enough good things.
And that's kind of how I
glad it comes or something.
Right, and I brought it forward with that, already knowing like I can't keep going and say this. What are we gonna do here?
Yeah.
This is what I can do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can still do this stuff. Okay, that makes sense.
Cool.
So we talked about earlier, creating your own spot. Saying like, well, I've done these things. This is what I can do. That's what I can bring to the table. I'm good at this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it worked out.
They didn't take out the pasture.
No.
Good.
Luckily, well,
So-
maybe if they did, I would have got a medical retirement. I would have done
That's charity.
We got that 70%.
Yeah, that's charity. So the book's coming out this month, the new one?
Yeah, new one comes out next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday, all right.
Yeah, so I got
Can we find it on Amazing, right?
amazing. It'll be out there next Tuesday. It's supposed to be out a couple weeks ago, but
That time
it's hard, man. It is hard trying to, there's some, like I said, I go there at 3:30 every day.
Dude, it's hard. It's hard to get time to read. Never mind, write the shit.
You gotta
So
tell me.
that's what I'm saying. When you say it's hard, I believe you. You ain't gotta sell me.
But it's not that. It's like sometimes I'll sit there for fucking 4 hours and do shit because I'm just like, I got nothing. I'm just fried. I'll sit in the dark, fucking scrolling TikTok. I'm like,
I think that's every writer though.
100%. But and then it's funny because I told the publisher, they're like, oh, whatever you want for a timeline, let me know. I go, no, give me a timeline. I go, if I don't have a deadline, I'm not gonna fucking do it. Because you just kind of, I got so much going on. You put things on. Everybody's got a lot. I don't mean to act like I'm busier than anyone else, but everybody's got so much going on, and I'm like, give me a deadline. That's how I work. I need to know what's coming up. So once you gotta push nose to the grindstone, I started pumping it out. A little behind, but we got it out.
And each one is a sequel from the previous one?
Correct. Yeah, it's a continuing story.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep. Yeah. So I've got ideas, probably 6, 7 down the line. So I've got stuff in the back burner. We'll see how it all comes out. Man. But I enjoy it, man. I really do. It's kind of my.
So I heard the next book, a guy that looks like you, Tim, gets raped by a wild animal.
Jim Bilk.
I'm gonna hold you to that now. I'm buying the next one. My name better be.
He dances around naked, covered in beef tallow.
That's the guy. You must have read that page.
Tapped into your computer, son.
Yeah.
He likes to rub beef tallow all over him. He calls himself the big steak.
He can have his own spinoff.
You should write. You're just as fucked up as he is.
I could write if I could just talk ad lib, and if somebody would write it down. You tell me to start writing stuff.
You could do so.
Because they got that dragon app.
Yeah, you just talk.
Yeah, that's the only way I can get it. When you told me to write, man, I'm like, oh, forget it.
I have said though, and you've heard me say this. He could write a book about his own life.
Yeah, I say
all
that.
that shit he seems done.
But
places that
so many people in any line of law enforcement, first responder, like all that story.
Yeah.
Come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And half the stuff we see, people will be like, "There's no fucking way." You're like, that's a fucking Tuesday.
I always said,
You know what I
That's a
mean?
Tuesday
Yeah, it's a Tuesday,
before
man.
lunchtime.
Yeah. And it's crazy that you'll tell somebody, I don't even like to talk about my job at all. I don't tell anyone what I do anymore, but you'll talk about something that happened, you're like, no way.
yeah.
Fuck, you seriously? It's
I used to
fucking
tell
stupid
people-
nothing.
You know what? You're better off not knowing.
Yeah.
You're better off. Ignorance really is bliss.
I tell people all the time, what do you do on refrigeration? Done. Nobody wants to hear about that shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I'm telling you, tell them anything. You tell them anything, law enforcement. Oh my God, it's fucked up. You tell them you worked inside. Do people get raped?
Yeah.
Yo, it's like, yo, dude, can we not talk about that, bro?
It's funny. Like
I'm over here, got a cocktail, trying to eat some hors d'oeuvres,
that's it, man.
and you want to ask me if dudes get raped? Fuck off, man. Get out of here.
Think about that earlier. Talk about famous people just wanting to relax. It's the same type of thing. You go out, you're like,
Oh, at a party or something.
It's like, bro, I used to be the most. I was like the guy talking to everybody, and all the guys would say, "You don't talk to nobody." I'm like, no, I don't fucking talk to nobody.
Yeah.
Sit against that wall with my drink. It's no disrespect. I just, especially what I do now, like it's all interviewing. Like it's all I do. 8 hours a day, I'm talking to people. Like, my wife works on computers forever. She was like, "I don't want a computer in the house." I'm like, what do you mean? She said, "I work on computers. I don't fucking want anything to do with that." So it's like people asking me, "Oh, tell me about the craziest shit you ever done."
Negatory.
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 Tell me about you and what you do.
Right.
That's what I say.
Yeah.
Make them the center of the conversation.
No.
Whatever though.
Yeah.
It's what it is. So I get it. I get people's fascination with it.
Yeah, I guess if you're in corporate America, the worst part of your day is, we were oh my God, the printer's throwing the A5 code again.
Toner.
Yeah, the toner's out. Exactly.
My stapler?
My boss is stapler. Yeah, exactly. The worst part of their day is, if we get what was his name? Need you to work Saturday?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that's it, man. Yeah, like I said, I guess if you work a job like that and you just can't relate.
Yeah.
And that's why, it's when you see people that do the job opposed to others and they don't understand how we joke around,
Right.
shit we say.
But
It's funny because I dated a girl years ago and her brother was a corporate dude. So the first time we had a party together, I invited a bunch of my monkeys over.
right, yeah.
And these guys start talking, and this dude goes in the kitchen and tells her, she's like, "Oh my God, these guys are an HR nightmare."
Oh yeah.
And she's just like, "Just close your ears." And she's like, "Oh my God." He goes, it goes from sexual to racial to, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, and
It's funny. So I tell, I'm telling high school all the time. I always tell the story. This is maybe 5-6 years. No, actually, it's had to be like, fuck, it's been so long. I think 5-6 years ago, like fucking 12.
It's always twice.
There was a teenager shot in the back of the head, and this is when I was in patrol. I was the first one to respond, and I get there, and I remember he was shot in the back of the head, right out the eye. I remember his eye being out to here, and this woman called, said, "Hey, some kid got his ass kicked in my backyard." We get there. I got my ass. So I'm like, "Yo, you all right?" My buddy's like, "Bro, he's fucking dead." You know what I mean? You're like, "Oh." So I tell all the, I'm in the high school class. I'm like, 5 minutes later, I go, "There's probably 10 cops there." I go, "What do you I go, "If there was a drone over us, I go, what do you think's happening? What would you see on that drone?" They're like, taking measurements, setting up tape. I don't know. You see a bunch of dudes laughing and joking. I go, "You think we think that's funny?" And they're like, "No." I go, "What do you think that is?"
Coping mechanism.
100%, man.
Good for you, Joe, to relay that.
Yeah, and they're like, you know what I mean? And that's the cool part. Is I just tell it what it is. And they're like, "Damn."
When I went to the police academy at 37, 38 years old.
Mhm.
And I remember they said, "Be careful in a house because they might have ADT." And you over there saying dumb shit. And you're going to,
I'll explain that all day.
And
I got no problem. You know what I mean?
you know what I mean? Because
Whether they get it or not.
Because they were saying that one day, there was like a dead woman in a tub.
Yeah.
And one of the guys walks in and goes, "Wow, she had a nice rack." And the ADT picked it up.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And then you got to, you got to take your walk of shame. And, I said that dumb shit.
But I don't even feel bad. That's what I do to not think about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's funny because the incident I'm talking about, there was a picture. There was a picture in the local newspaper on the front page of me like this by the police state, because it's like you're laughing and joking, and the camera's going,
Yep.
I'm caught. Yeah, doing my job. You know what I mean?
Strike a pose.
And then they drop cameras, you're like, it's motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Ham.
You don't want to think about it. You know, that's what we do. We just keep pushing it down until it pops over.
That's why
that's what we do.
I always said you've got to convince yourself that, like back on third shift when I started, one of my bosses used to say, and it stuck with me forever, as long as it's moral and legal, I'll support you.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, right?
Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
And I used to tell guys I work with, control your space, right here. It's all you can control. It doesn't matter what Jimmy's doing, what Joe is doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, handle your business. Jimmy says that all the time. Handle your business.
Yeah.
Handle your business, man. If you're not doing this job for yourself, if you're not doing the work for yourself to try and satisfy the victim or the complainant, whatever it is, you're gonna find it hard.
The amount of times I've heard other cops say, like, nobody even said thank you or told me I did a good job. Like, bro, you're in the wrong job. If you came here for a pat on the back, go somewhere else, man.
What's Ramon always say? Ramon goes, you want people to like you, be a firefighter or sell ice cream.
100%.
Or sell ice cream. He goes, everybody likes firefighters, everybody likes ice cream.
That's why I told you earlier, if my kids were 18, I'd like to be a fireman. That's the job right there.
That's
Everybody
what
loves
he
you.
told me.
Yeah, he was right, probably.
He was
You know?
right.
But,
Cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it.
and don't get me wrong, I wouldn't do this. I would do the same thing.
I would too.
100%.
I said the same thing, despite everything I
I would
would
do
do.
it again. Yeah. You know, people are always because everything was good for you. And part of me likes to think, well, maybe I fucking did my job, and like, maybe that's part of it. But no matter what, people think the thing. I don't.
Yeah.
The older you get a fuck what people think about
That's
you.
true.
Oh yeah,
I can't wait to get older for the same reason.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's funny because when you see the old school and the way they act, you're like, yeah, you're right. You get to that age, like, yeah, fuck that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I'm like that now. You know what I mean? I just, I'm not, I'm not gonna join you in your delusions, dog.
Mhm.
I'm not. You know what I mean? I don't fall into that pronoun shit, and I just, and that's the reason I won't take a job.
Yeah.
But, people are like, oh, you want to get into that? I'm like, yo, I don't want an HR department.
Yeah. Nope. And that's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I'm done. I don't want to work for anybody. I want to work for myself.
You
Whatever it is I do.
I got my little house of horrors here, and
Mhm.
I guess I'm the boss, and I'm the guy that cleans the bathrooms too. I'm okay with that though.
It's all good.
I'm
Brush.
I'm okay, exactly, dude. And
Be whistling while doing
nobody,
it, too.
I don't got an email. I don't got an email on my computer saying, "Hey, can you come by HR real quick? We want to see you." I seen a meme that was so funny. It said, "I told the joke this morning. It was so funny. The girls in HR want to hear it now." I was laughing my ass off when I read that shit.
Where's the bathroom?
Walk out, take a left and walk out, go to the back elevator, left and left. Good.
Elevator. Oh, body elevator?
Yeah.
You guys gonna be okay?
One or two, Joe.
Just one.
Yeah,
Bust
just
them out. You cool?
Yeah.
Clean the floor?
it's cool. It's cool.
Monster kill.
You care if we talk about you behind your back later?
Exactly.
Please do.
Go the other way. Go the other way till I
don't
need you. So now it's the Jim and Tim hour.
Damn.
Oh,
Now it's the
no.
Jim and
Oh,
Tim.
no.
Oh,
We've never had this happen, I don't think, right?
Exactly.
It is a first.
you know what?
Not that we can't find content. to talk
No,
about.
I think So what are you looking forward towards the next year, Tim? Got anything on the horizons?
Yeah, I hope to have my website up and running before the end of this year. I'm close. I'm about 80% done. Get the photography thing going, getting up and off the ground. Building on that, you might have stepped away. I mentioned to you earlier. I had the interview today with Matt Garcia.
Yes, for that. Yep.
So hoping to pick up some work there and maybe build on that. Beyond that, and just stay healthy, stay upright.
I think we gotta take a run to Florida to see our boy.
For sure.
Because I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, "Dude, when you guys coming down?"
Yeah.
So he's always got an open policy for us.
We went March last time, right? End of March or so. That seems like the best time.
It was either March or April.
Yeah.
Yeah, March or April when we went that time. And but yeah, he's got the open door.
Yeah.
So
I say we relive that around the same time, March, April.
yeah, like I said, it's a good time down there, man. He's got it set up. He's got it set up.
I haven't seen his new crib, but
Oh, good Lord,
I
dude.
know what you're saying.
It's good. It's
Good for
good.
him.
So yeah, if you guys don't know, Tim does his photography thing. He's really into the action sports. He goes pretty deep. He's trying to go into the boys' locker room, but they still won't let him. But that's a little too deep. You know what I mean? He's trying to go Penn State, freaking over there.
Got my hair's cut and everything. You guys might recognize, might notice, not recognize, but yeah, I've got my hair cut and everything. It's all official and shit now. But we'll see.
No, that's it.
I'm trying to stay out of full-time work, trying to just do my own thing as much as I can.
Yeah, we're all trying to work on that. And like I
Yeah.
said, everything works out. We're going to stay out of that. The F word.
The F word, I love
The
that.
F word. Yeah, man. Full time. Not me, man.
Fuck no.
I've avoided it now for 10 calendars.
That's incredible.
I've avoided it, bro. It's just shocking to me because I never thought I would have enough clout, or I didn't think I'd pick up that way to stay out of that F word for 10 calendars, dog. I was scared. I said, I'm gonna have to pick up a 40-hour just like the next cat. I think I was special.
No,
I
you
said-
created that cash cow years ago, long before you left.
I said, but my monkey ass is gonna punch a clock. I said it to myself.
There's no shame in that. I mean,
It's-
I'm like you. Or like me. I'm just trying to stay above water.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's just, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't care if I got I don't mind working, man. I guess I got, just like in my agency, I got tired of working with dumbass dudes or working with just kiss asses. And I'm just like, I ain't having it. And, I don't give a shit if I'm fucking knitting, but if I'm doing it by myself and I don't got no bullshit, I'd rather do that. I'm sorry.
Joe, all employees must wash their hands. That applies to
Clean,
podcast.
brother.
Yes.
Clean, bro. Brush your face.
Handle that Buffalo Tracer. I want to make sure it's safe on Illinois.
Funny, man, I get older now. You can't piss like you used to. You're like, oh, come on. Really? You're falling out. I remember telling my doctor, I'm like, man, I can't piss. You're getting old, bro. Like, it's just like shit falls out.
Only recently, I was telling Jimmy,
It's the old man shit, right?
cranky knee and
Oh,
cranky
yeah.
elbow, but beyond that, I'm like, man, I feel like I can run through walls.
I've had bad knees since I was like 12, so I'm not doing that. Get down, I'm doing laundry or socks in the living room.
Your knees were at that age?
Yeah,
Damn, Forrest Gump.
Got that brace, that metal brace on
Yeah,
my knee.
you're fucking Forrest Gump.
Yeah, I had that Ashton slaughter where like your
I had it too.
bones grow faster, and
Yeah.
my knees are fucked up, man. Like I just
Still?
sit down here and I try to get up, I'm like, oh, I'm like, man, fuck. But it's, 44, you still think you're 20.
Yeah.
You start. It was like 5 years ago. Me and a bunch of guys from the PD. We played basketball on Thursdays at one of the schools. It opened
Awesome.
up for us. It was fucking great. It was
Yeah.
like the best workout. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
it is.
Just running. And I was dribbling at the top of the key, doing nothing. And I went, fucking calf. I tore my calf. I didn't do nothing. I thought somebody threw something at my calf. And I was like, man, this is like the epitome of an old man injury right here. Like, well, how'd you break it? Or how'd you tear that? I was fucking dribbling a basketball, like. But so I'm trying to, get a little better. When I get in at 3:30, first thing I do is this is all fucking old school. Gotta stretch, man. Stretch.
Ice,
Yeah.
cold shower, ice bath, that kind of shit. What's that?
I do. So what I do, like I told you, I'm that night TikTok guy. I'm not going to just start buying shit,
I'm trying to get money to buy a cryo fucking chamber.
Yeah.
I'm trying
I
to
love
be
that.
Joe Rogan and get a cryo chamber.
Bro, I tell everybody I take all my medical advice from Joe Rogan and Dana White. That's where I take my medical advice from. Because they don't, I feel like that's truth, whatever they're saying, because they don't care. They're not selling them.
Yeah, right.
Well, what I do is at the end of my shower, I crank the shit all as cold as
Yeah,
possible.
boy.
I'm sitting there for as long as possible, like a minute.
Mhm.
And, bro, it wakes you up, man.
Yeah.
It keeps you going all day.
It's all the physiological effects that you can't feel.
100%.
All you feel is the
Yeah.
right. But
But that blood, the blood, coming through the pores and all that.
you ever heard of the fuck's his name?
Yes.
No. Me too.
I know that guy. The guy that does all Dan White stuff.
No, he's Joe Rogan's had him on a couple times. He's Andrew Huberman. Heard of him?
Maybe probably. I watch all the Rogan shit, so probably.
I'll check him out. But
David Brecka is the one that I listen. I see all the time on Dana White talks about. It's the one that takes all your blood and tells you exactly what you're deficient in, and just people feel amazing.
I want to take a deeper dive.
Me too.
My background is phys ed. Yeah, but I want to know, like, there's a whole new layer of understanding. That's why I listen to guys like Huberman and stuff. I want to.
And it's fucked up, but you listen to Joe Rogan, Dana White, and they're the ones that say, "I'll never go to a fucking doctor." You know what I mean? Like, because as bad as it seems, I feel like a lot of that stuff is money. It's just about money, and I think there's so many other things you can do to just put a couple things in.
My buddy went to a holistic dude down at the shore, CZ. He went to a holistic dude, and that guy put him onto some shit, and he stopped eating a couple things, and he goes, "Bro, changed my world."
Yeah. And listen, I know it. I know that I'm a fat kid at heart, man. I fucking love food. I'm Italian to the core, and I know when I'm not eating right, I feel like fucking garbage, but I love fucking food too much. I need my pasta.
Salud, gentlemen. Salud.
Hello.
Yes. Nastrovia.
Oh yeah. Go. Guess we ain't like that bottle at all.
Yeah,
Whatever. People bringing this shit over here.
Shout out to Buffalo.
I love Buffalo Trace, man.
And you said you were down in Kentucky.
Yeah, I was never a bird. I mean, when you're younger, college, you drink something that you're like, "Oh, a lot of people drink that," and then you get
That's old man shit.
That's old man
That's
shit.
old
And
man
I'm like,
shit.
fuck, I'm an old man. We start drinking that. You have like a glass at night. You just feel good.
Nice.
And we were talking earlier. People are in the IPA phase, and it's still kind of around.
Oh, it's around.
You have 2 or 3 of those, man. Like, I want to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Bloated, you don't want to eat nothing. You want to go to bed. A little glass of bourbon, then I feel good. Relaxes me.
I feel like a man, feel mature. Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that dad on the couch.
I feel like I want to pay some taxes when I drink this shit. Like, I want to pay some taxes. Miracle.
I was talking to my buddy Kyle the other night, and we're shooting back and forth about what meds we're on. And we're like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, what happened in these conversations?
Dude, let me tell you something. You turn 50, it's like the check engine light comes on. Dude, the check engine light comes on and go off.
40 was enough.
And once you start talking about doctor's appointment, oh, you go to him too? Oh, I go to him too.
Yeah.
Oh, my man Timmy goes to that dude. You start having so many doctors in common, you're like, what the fuck? Oh, I'm telling you, bro.
And it's all in our hands. We all, the thing, it just goes back to Goggins. Like, we all know exactly what to do. You know exactly what you need to do to be healthy and feel good. It just sucks.
We got the memo.
Yeah, it just sucks.
We just haven't applied it.
Yeah, you're like, but I want this fucking pizza. I have another slice.
There's not a thing out there I don't eat. I like the Alfredos, the stuff that's like over the top. I stay away from. But I eat pizza when I want to. I eat as much as I want to. I eat every ice cream in moderation. And everybody who knows me knows I'm a big ice cream fan.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with a cannoli, baby.
Yeah.
Right. Cannoli. I'll suck a couple of cannolis now.
It's like me and him, we're known to go to New Haven, and we go grab one.
Go on.
We go to New Haven, and we'll order it up, and you know what I mean.
That reminds me. As soon as you're done, please.
You know what I mean. But I'm saying, like I said, but like when people say, do you go out? I go, like go out. I go get a pizza with my man. I consider that.
Yeah.
I stepped out the house for the week.
Right.
Like, when's the last time you went out? I'm like, well, me and Timmy went to the bar. We grabbed a pie. We grabbed a cocktail. And I guess, that was going out for me. You know what I mean?
I mean, like I said, I'm so fucking busy with the kids and their sports and stuff. So like, even dinners, they're like, everybody eats at a different time. It's all right, make you this quick, make you that quick. And I actually like to cook. I enjoy cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I just fucking love food. I got a wife that don't really like food, so it's like, fuck.
What?
Yeah, she's a food is fuel type of person. So, but I got a couple boys who like to eat. So
I'm halfway in between because I love eating too. And if everything else was equal, if it didn't matter, let me put that way: if it didn't matter any, If it didn't matter at all, I would eat whatever the fuck I
I'd be
wanted.
400 fucking pounds.
Yeah, agreed.
And be happy as a
Yeah.
motherfucker. But
That's-
it just sucks. You feel like shit.
You gotta-
every time I gain weight,
You got to come by. Dave comes by when I kill a pig here.
Yeah.
Dave comes by.
Throw that bad boy out.
He swings by.
Oh,
He knows where the waters and the Coca-Colas
yeah.
are.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I don't know.
I like food. What am I gonna say?
No, it is.
But again, it's moderation.
Yeah, man. As we get older, we must self-mastery is
You got to pay your
important.
tax.
Yeah,
So whether
that's it.
it's
Mhm.
backing off the next time around, or whether it's a little extra longer workout, whatever, you got to pay your tax.
I used to do keto every January. I'd go on keto,
Oh,
and because I would gain like 30 pounds from March to December. 30
What?
pounds. I get up to like 195. January, I go on keto, 165. Gain that 30 pounds, 165. The doctor's like, man, that ain't good, dude. You can't just keep fucking going up and down. Like, at one point, I was 155. I lost 40 pounds. Like, I was 155. People are like, bro, you look, I look like a blonde. Over here in the project.
You was on the rocks.
Yeah,
son.
you're like, bro, you all right?
You was
I
on
feel
the
great,
rocks.
But yeah, it's just a matter of like, all right, I just gotta, it's just hard, man. Like it's funny, me and my boss were talking about today. Like, I should bring my lunch every day, but that means you gotta Saturday, Sunday, you gotta go out. You gotta get everything you need. If you make a fucking meal for the week, and you're like, it's great when you do it. It lasts like 2 weeks, and you're like, it's just too fucking.
Dude, I can't eat.
I'm gonna go downstairs, and
Dude,
fucking slice of pizza.
yeah.
I hate to say it. I grew up very humble.
Yeah.
But I could eat leftovers one day. After that, I'm done with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You could ask this guy. Like, I have a party over here. And Catcher and I'm like, dude, if you don't take it, I'm gonna chuck it. I'm throwing my money out. I'm like, please take it. And guys get mad because I tell them, no, motherfucker, fill that styrofoam up.
Uh-huh.
I don't want to throw it out because I'm throwing out my money.
I'll eat that shit.
And it's just like cats, just like, they're just, yeah, I'll eat it like the next day after that. I'm like, nah, I can't swing it. It's like,
It's fucking hard. That's like with kids, especially when they're a little bit younger. Like where every night it's chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm all done. Yeah, you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna eat that shit, and whatever.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
fucking food. What are you gonna do? But
Like I said, I don't like cooking. I like providing. Like we host Thanksgiving or whatever it is. I like preparing meals so that everybody can enjoy them.
yeah,
I like eating as much as the next person, but
I legit like cooking. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know why I'm good at it. I don't like. I'm a pretty good cook, and I don't know what's fucking doing. I don't know what makes you a good cook, but I'll make some shit that's fucking good. What'd you do? I don't fucking know.
people have said the same about me.
It's just kind of like in you,
I can read, I can follow instructions.
Right.
You put all the ingredients in front of me. I can mix them all together.
and that's how I feel. I'm like, what I do is just fucking follow.
Right.
If my wife's, she doesn't. Like I said, she's not a big foodie, but her mother, she passed away a long time ago, but she was a great cook, and.
The whole generation was.
Yeah, and my wife, she's Polish too.
Oh.
Yeah. So she would say like, like my mom, she never measured. She would just do this. I go, but she like, you don't. Number one, you don't like food. Number two, she didn't measure, but she was a good fucking cook. Like you can't just throw some shit in, like
That's shit. Like a few things that didn't get passed down from that generation.
Yeah.
There's a big gap
Yeah.
between our parents' generation and then our generation.
Everything I learned,
Women.
and it's from just being a fat kid at heart. Like I remember when, my grandma, old Italian woman, she's like 4'9". You know what I mean? She could cook. And so before she passed away, I used to ask her how to cook a lot of things. And she showed me how to cook a lot of things, and just picked a lot of it up.
but it's like these girls now can't cook.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I just said.
They can't cook. It's
I got
because,
lost.
it's because our generation got soft with these kids. And it's because, my mother didn't teach me how to cook. Okay, your mother didn't teach you how to cook. Who taught you how to do that little thing with your tongue? Who taught you that? Okay, you learned it on. You took the initiative to learn that, huh?
But
Fuck out of here.
Is the gap as big with the men? The shit being passed down from our fathers to the men? I don't think it is. I think the gap is bigger on the women's side.
Yeah, and I could be wrong, but I feel like,
I don't know.
In my generation, I feel like our kids, like we're raising them like kind of how we were raised. I feel like
Yeah,
that's gonna kind
still.
of come back. I think I could be wrong. Everybody I've talked to, like, oh, dude,
I don't
this
know,
guy
man. I
all
see
over.
these kids wearing these skinny jeans, bro. I see these kids with these fucking half a fat
Bro, but
haircuts.
listen, time out though. Like I think about back when I was in school, you know, like the cuffed ankles and my boss jeans and my caulking eye shit. Like,
But you wasn't looking fruity. But these
I'm
kids,
sure they thought we were.
no, these kids nowadays they looking suspect. No,
I
man.
agree.
They looking sus. They looking
How'd you get in them
sus.
jeans, bro?
Who helped you? You guys get together in the morning? Yeah, you guys get together in the morning. You'll meet at my house. We'll help each other out. Exactly. I just, you know, I see these kids. I see these kids now, and I'm like, yo, you look mad sus.
The thing about it, you know, when I was younger, is, you know, that was like the sag was crazy. You know, people be down on their knees, you know, you got your ass hanging out, you fucking home always, man. It's like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like every generation's a little different, you know. I mean, a lot of things that are in style, like was it the hygienes with the females now? Like
can't
that
stand
big
it.
high ones from them.
Can't
That's like,
stand
I'm like, oh,
Oh, the mommy jeans are back?
oh yes,
Oh,
the
wow.
mommy jeans are back, bro.
Buddy,
And that's the thing. I'm like, oh, but like, you know, just like bell bottoms will probably be back. I don't know.
yeah, and then the platform shoes got to come back. Those got to come back.
Hairy vaginas are coming back. They're right behind.
But everything comes back, man. Everything's full
does.
circle, you know.
That's what they say in fashion. Everything's 360.
Yeah. You know, I used to always say like, this is a while ago, maybe 10 years ago. All the kids had that super long hair, you know. I'm like,
it's
oh man,
still
my
there.
kids all fuck.
They're all grunged out,
Yeah.
all looking like they're
Yeah,
in Pearl Jam
my
and
little
shit.
my little one, he's 9, but when he plays soccer and basketball stuff, he's got that like band bow. He ties
The
it up
man
like
bun?
that. Yeah. But I'm like,
I'd rather see
whatever,
that. I'd
man.
rather see that.
Yeah, I guess, you know, but whatever. You know, my middle one, he's all about his style. He's got to have that drip. You know, my oldest one could care less. He don't give a fuck. He'll wear the same hoodie every day if he could. I'm like, bro, you wore that yesterday. That's my sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Hey, you know,
Whatever.
I'm like that because I don't even own a winter coat.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't own a winter coat, so it's like, you know.
I wear hoodies and sweatpants would be me every day if I could.
Same. Yeah. Shorts and a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Actually, my kids still fucking December. They got shorts.
You go February,
I never put mine away.
Zach, you know, you could be February. You'll catch a white boy with some Tevas on his shorts.
Hell yeah.
You catch a white boy out there
Bro,
with his shirts.
I rock them Crocs now. I don't even care. Like I used to talk shit about people with Crocs all the time. My wife bought me some last year, maybe.
Yeah.
For Christmas.
I know.
I love them.
It's hard to argue. They're comfortable.
And I'll be out there like, I'm crying. I'll get me fun of them. I don't give a fuck, man. That shit is. I slip
Getting old shit.
Slip these games. Old shit.
What did Adam Carolla say about Crocs? He goes, Crocs are cool. He goes, it's like having a guy blow you. He goes, they feel good until you look down. You're like, I'm wearing this.
Yeah.
Adam Carolla said that shit. I'm dying.
Ours geniuses, white people shit.
White shit. I love the comedian white boy. Comedians do the white guy voice.
Oh.
Fucking best, dude. Dave Chappelle and all that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Oh man, Chappelle's the shit.
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I saw Chappelle 20 years ago at CCSU.
I was there.
Get the fuck out of here.
You know Sergeant Gill?
Yeah.
So Sergeant Gill calls me up, and shout out Carlos, and he calls me up. He goes, "Hey, we got spring fling at Welty Hall."
Mm-hmm.
So you were there when
Yeah.
The president of the school got the call in the middle of the show, and he went out. And when he went out, he was berating his wife.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot. I remember the guy that opened for him was fantastic. Remember talking about something being underwater. I don't really remember.
Yeah, well, yes, I saw Chappelle 20 years ago
And let me tell you something. I remember.
at Welty Hall.
I'll remember. Like I feel like Chappelle. If you told him the story about CCSU, you'd be like, I remember that dude. So we were like 12. Yeah, this is bad.
All right.
We were like 12 rows back, and there was an aisle right down the middle. And I was sitting on the end. I remember fucking laughing so hard. I remember like fucking getting out of my seat, like running down the aisle and be like, bah! And I remember him like when I think back, I remember him like telling a joke and giving like this
Side eye.
Yeah, I got the side eye
Yeah,
from
you.
Chappelle at CCSU like 20 something years ago. Like I feel like, man, I remember that motherfucker. I thought he was gonna kill me. Oh,
He said something that you thought was hysterical, and you just came out charging. Like,
Dude, you know, man, you're drinking, 22 years old. You know? But
This is the moment. This is my defining moment.
I
This is
honestly-
making me.
I honestly feel like if I ever saw Chappelle, like 20 years ago. That white boy that almost killed you. That was me.
So my buddy Carlos tells me when they had Biggie perform there.
Biggie and Mad Lion. My brother went to it.
Okay, so
My brother went to that.
he said these guys
Mad
ripped
Lion-
off.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
But Biggie opened for Mad Lion, who was the headliner.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Carlos tells me that they ripped that the fireboard goes off.
Mm-hmm.
So so he goes and look, these cats ripped off the fire detector and put it in a bucket of ice of champagne. So Carlos walks outside. They're all in the back smoking pot.
Mm-hmm.
So Carlos goes up to Biggie to be like, "Yo, who did this?" And when he goes up to Carlos, Biggie goes, "Oh, come on, man! I thought you wanted an autograph. Fuck out of here."
Fuck out of here.
So yeah,
Fuck out of
Carlos
here.
goes, "Yeah, they took the smoke detector. They put it in the freaking bucket with the champagne." And he goes, Biggie thought I wanted an autograph. I was pissed off because they ripped the thing off the wall.
Bro, I remember, looking back on it, it's like, because I don't remember Mad Lion, but he was hot for like a year and a half, but he was good. And it's to think back, like Biggie opened for him. Mad Lion was the headliner. Money up in like 10 again.
I remember that dude.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Mad Cobra Flex.
Yeah.
Time to have sex.
Yeah.
That dude was fire.
That was, I love him really.
But yeah, like I said, it's freaking. But yeah, Chappelle at Central that night. Yeah, Carlos called me and said, "Come down here." We went down there. We caught the show. And it's funny because I brought my DVD, my half-baked CD, DVD, and I wanted him to sign it. But I didn't get it signed. I was pissed.
Yeah, I think that was right. I think that was during like the first year of the Chappelle show, right? Because I think that had started, right?
I'm not sure, but like I
I
said, it
think
was funny.
so.
It was a long time
I know it
ago.
was a long time ago.
But yeah, like I said, he was.
I love comedy, man.
I remember I was working a security gig up in Yukon. I was doing something for the student body up there, and they had Michael Blackson,
Mm-hmm.
and this is right when he did Next Friday.
Yep.
You the pink motherfucker that sold me this. I cannot get G to this. Big Joss nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blacks was out of control.
I fucking love comedy.
Oh, comedy.
I seen a couple go. I see Bill Cosby and Seinfeld.
You know what I mean? Comedy scares me because
You know,
we don't
know more.
because we don't know where it's going now because they can't say
And it's
nothing.
funny, they all talk about it too.
And you know what I mean? And it's like,
He's a comedy man. And I'll give Chappelle props because he says it all the time. Like, you came here to, go fuck yourself.
well, it's like,
And it's good. You need big people like that. saying
well,
that.
Yes.
like I remember I was at the Gotham one night, chilling with Joey Diaz.
I want to be that fucking dude.
Yes.
You gotta be fucking great.
So Joey Diaz is cool with my boy Alex Raymundo, and Alex Raymundo is from Number Juan Tequila.
Yeah.
So when I went to go see Joey Diaz, Alex goes, "Yo, go there and tell him you're my boy. You're all set." I was, and so and it was just like, anytime you say something racial or sexual, people are looking to the left or the right, like for permission. Can I laugh?
Fuck.
And it's just like, dude, the way it should be is all right, dude. You know how I feel about it. The second you walk in the club, dude, you signed your.
show.
The second you walked in there, you signed your release.
Yeah, it's meant to be.
You walked
not
your release.
serious.
So guess what, dude? If he makes a freaking racial joke,
You can go
if he
home.
make, you know what I mean. But the problem is these cats nowadays, they're professional victims because all they want to do is get on Twitter and cry about shit. And, oh my God, he made a joke about this.
But
He made a joke about
The
that.
biggest
And I'm
problem
just
with all
like,
that is that you that's 2% of the population. Squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah,
So
right.
like, we gotta change it. So 90% of people don't give a fuck, and they know it's a joke. That drives me crazy. And I feel like it hasn't hindered it too much. What bothers me is when people do something like that and then they gotta come out and give an apology. It's like, fuck you. Did you feel bad about what you said?
Yeah.
Go fuck
oh,
yourself. It's a joke.
I think
Like,
that
you're
trend
a
is
comedy.
changing.
Yeah, I think so
I'm pretty
too.
sure.
I hope it is,
I
man.
think it is too. You you got to stop catering to the 1-2%. That's not enough.
It seems
That's
like
a deep combo, though.
well, like my boy Charles always says, the problem is everybody's trying to sell laundry soap. And unfortunately, get woke, go broke.
Yeah, I feel like most people really aren't like that, though. You know what I mean? It's just the ones that talk about it.
And it's again, I don't want to go on a rabbit hole here, but like I tell my kids all the time, like the social media stuff, like if that's all you're listening to, that's all you'll hear, right?
Okay.
It's the same thing. That's all that social media is putting out there are all these antagonists and people who are out there just pushing back and stuff.
So when I do when I teach a high school class, as soon as I come in, before I say anything, I write police on the board. I go, listen, I'm gonna turn my back. I go, I want you to say one word that you think of when you hear the word of police. I go, say whatever the fuck you want. Like,
Yeah.
There's no rules here.
Hmm.
And I should show you that it's like fuck, racist, pigs, murderers, donuts, and it's all this crazy shit, And I say it, I go, why do you say that? Like, why do you think that? And they all know, like social media. I go, how many of you know a police officer personally?
Crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's cool. Like I said, I legitimately do not go in there and say, I'm going to change people's minds. I don't care what you know what I mean?
You're just gonna inform them of a little bit.
Yeah, and it's just I say this is what we do, and I bring in some people. Man, you guys are fucking cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking normal dude.
You're the right person for that job.
Yeah,
I would love to like go another hour with just this stuff.
Yeah, this is like my passion, and then I pitch a lot of this stuff. It's a lot of what I do at the PD, and I do a lot of it, and some of it gets kind of turned down, and it bothers me, because it's all I do is work with kids, and, working with the police explorers, 14 to 21. I even remember there's a you remember being younger. There's a lot of I've had some kids that get pissed off at me and don't talk to me for years because I give them some advice and they're like, "Damn, fuck you don't know." And I'm like, damn, I was in the same fucking boat, bro. Like I'm just trying to help you. Like I get shit by helping. I got into an argument with one of my explorers recently. She's 20 years old, and she got pissed off at me about something like, "Oh, you just care about this and that," and just thinks everybody's out together. And I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Like you grow up in a certain place and like. Things are wrong.
Defense mode is always on.
100%. And I go, like, you gotta stop that shit. Like, I get it. Like, you think I go, whatever. Like, I don't. You have to understand. Like, I get nothing from talking to you. Nothing. Like, I've helped you get into college. I helped you get a job. Like, I made sure you graduated. Like, I go out of my way for these kids on my own time, on my own dime, and I enjoy doing that. And I don't want anything returned. That makes me happy.
Send the elevator back down for somebody else.
Yeah, like it sounds.
Send the elevator back down.
I don't need nothing. I don't want like this fucking billboard. Hey, Joe did it. Like that makes me happy. Like so I do this. I'll go out on my own time. I brought it out in Tunks. Like I remember calling her and she was like, my mom doesn't want me to work. She told me to take a year or two off.
No.
I go let's. I go listen. I go let's get you over. I go I'm gonna bring you down to Tunks. I go they got a couple programs for phlebotomy, CNA. I go we'll take some of those. I go I guarantee we could talk to them. You don't have to pay a dime. You know what I mean? You'll be able to get financial aid, get through. Brought her down there. And we talked to the women. They were fucking great down there. Ended up paying for her whole CNA course. Ended up getting a couple jobs. Get her going. You know what I mean? It wasn't difficult, but it's like they won't do it because they got nobody saying, like, go do this. But anyway, that was the same one that fucking ended up having beef with me. I'm like, what? Like, you gotta understand like how much I got going on with my own kids and this and that. Like I get nothing from you. And I don't mean that like a disrespectful way, but like
no, they don't. The problem is they don't see it.
But I'll give her props because I've had a couple other ones that bounce and she was like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Like I don't look at it like that." And you're right. I do think she goes every time something happens, I think people are talking shit or people's intentions are bad. And I go, I get that. I go, and just like we were talking about earlier, I was like, listen, there's a bunch of people I work with that I fucking hate. I go, but you would never know that. I go, because I'm not going to let them ruin my day. I go, and it's not worth it. And same one, though, after that first job she got, she left on bad terms. And it was because, the boss was kind of a bitch. And she's got that hood in her. She was like, motherfucker, what? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, what I
left on bad terms.
well, you know, I mean, I see a lot of these kids nowadays, and every time I talk to them, I tell them one thing: you're too hood for your own good.
Yeah.
I go, you don't know. I said, your problem is, I said, you're a double negative. You don't know that you don't know, and you don't know when to switch it off.
Right. But and there's nobody telling them to switch it off. That's the problem. They tell them the opposite, turn that shit on.
I tell them all the time. I said, every rapper, they make money. What do? They move out of the hood.
Right, 100%.
And I told them, I said, Jay-Z still live in Marcy?
Mm-hmm.
I said, 50 Cent moved to Farmington. And I go, why is that?
Right.
And then they look at me and they go, oh, never looked at it like that. And I go, that hood shit that you got, that persona that you're selling, you need to get rid of that yesterday.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because like I understand too that there's I won't be able to hit every kid. Right?
Of course
I'm a kid from the fucking suburbs. I'm from the mean streets.
You bring me in, I'll talk to him.
Southington, right? No, so
You bring me in, I'll talk to him.
So I got my buddy. He's an SRO in high school. He grew up in Waterbury, you know, Section 8. Dad was a
There you go.
crackhead. Out and never doesn't know him. Does not get along with him. Right.
Mhm.
Mom's got her issues. Not involved. Sister got issues. I bring that dude in, and every time I bring that dude in, because I push him a little when I ask him a question, he cries every fucking time.
Literally or figuratively?
Legit cries.
Really?
Yep. I remember. So I did this dude's when he was getting hired. I did his polygraph, and I didn't really, doing polygraphs, and you try to really be neutral, right? Like I'm not just going to decide, you know what I mean? But like first impression of this dude was like, like a t-shirt, like some flip flops.
What do we say? We're trying to be unbiased. We just try to go where the truth takes us.
Yeah, and and I do, but natural instincts, like just human nature. You go,
yeah, it's all right.
And he first thing, he passed the written test. He comes back to do the background stuff. And he slaps this piece of paper in front of me like I was I was arrested for a burglary back in the day, but I was I got it all pardoned and I was told I'm good. And I'm like, this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like, here we go. And the way he was dressed, we were talking about that, how people carry themselves. So, we get to the polygraph and legit, I put everything aside, say, let's just talk to this dude. 45 minutes in, I'm like, this motherfucker is exactly what we need from the projects. Been through a lot of shit, came out clean on the other side, put himself in the military. Great dude. So every time I bring him
redemption, baby.
Yeah, and
I believe we always talk about how we believe. Yeah. We always talk about how we believe in redemption because people have asked me. We've had certain people on the show, and they're like, Jimmy, why do you mess with dudes like that? I said, dude, I believe in redemption. I believe in sometimes some people, they got to hit rock bottom before they can look up.
Mm-hmm.
And when they do look up, they're like, yeah, I got to change this shit.
Yeah.
And I said, those dudes end up being studs because they sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yep, 100%, man. And this dude, 45 minutes in, I was like, this guy's fucking great. Like, I remember him telling me a story. I remember going through his packet and he had been in fucking 15, 20 fights. You're like, all right, let's fucking talk about these. And he was like, my grandmother bought me this big fucking hoodie for Christmas, and it was, it was the only hoodie I had. I wore it every day, and kids would call me a faggot. And he's like, I just got to the point where I was like, I'm fucking fighting you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started fighting people. Another time, he's like, I was at the mall, and he's like, my buddy was in the same situation as me. Fucking holes in his sneakers. Kids walking by and talking shit to him, and I was like, more fucking fighting. Like, you don't talk shit about that, And I was like, this fucking dude is great. I fucking loved him. 45 minutes.
How can you not appreciate that?
And it came to a point where I'm asking him all these questions and getting deep, but trying to help him get through this. I'm like, I gotta get this dude on the fucking force. You know what I mean? And when he gets in front of these kids, they're like, man, this motherfucker grew up like me. He made it. He talks about his grandfather, and but then he talks about, because I said, how's your family feel about you being a police officer? And he talks about a good half of them being like, you're a fucking traitor and
keeping it real.
Yeah, and he talks about a point where he ain't got no kids, but he's got a niece who's like his daughter. You know what I mean? And there was a situation where the father got arrested, and he remembers her talking during a big situation, how she was like, fucking God, this and that. And he goes, it fucking broke my heart. He starts crying every fucking time. And I tell him, I go, listen, dude, I don't do this. Like, I'm not trying to fuck with you. I go, but you gotta understand how important this is. Like, they gotta see real shit. You know what I mean? Like, even me, like I said, like, whatever. I grew up in the suburbs, so I'm like, listen, guys, I've been arrested a couple times, a couple of your people.
Don't point at me, John.
Bro. Damn. Oops. Call me my brother. But I, you know, whatever. You know, like I'm like, listen, like I did stupid things young. I got experience with some drugs, been in fights. I go, but that's what made me a police officer. And I go, you know, you just gotta understand, like, you guys are young, freshmen, sophomores, juniors. Like, you're gonna make mistakes. That's fine, but you gotta grow up at some point. And that's all they're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, like nobody cares what you did as a kid unless you're, you know, murdering people.
Exactly.
Like, you did stupid stuff. That's going to make you better at this job, and that's what we're looking for. I actually, a lot of them, when kids come in, they got nothing in their background. Like, oh, this dude's gonna struggle, man. Like, this is gonna be tough. You know, how are you gonna come into the city and like never did a thing? These people are crazy. You know, like
you sat on mommy's lap.
But as you know,
it doesn't mean they won't be good, but
as we all know, when you're on this side of the interview table, whatever it is, and they're asking all these questions, you don't want to come across as a thug. Like, you don't want to admit that you did.
So I would say that's the part, like anything, like any job, right? You get better at it, right? I would say early on in my polygraph career, it's really just an interview. You know, it's a 3-hour interview. I wasn't as good as I am now, and most of it has to do with just being like a fucking normal person. Listen, bro, I fucking do this shit. Like, I get it. Nobody's trying to judge you. Like, everybody did stupid shit. 99% of the world can be buried, and some of those secrets will stay with you. We got to talk about it today.
Yeah.
You know, and half the shit, I go, listen, not 80% of the people that come in here go, my book will look worse than theirs. You know what I mean? And that's fine. I grew up, you know, but mistakes are okay. You know, like, good judgment comes from experience.
But I don't know about, but like, we had somebody call in. They had a complaint about you. Didn't we have somebody call in?
Here we go. Probably. That'd be early career.
No, recently. Recently, Tim, right?
Yep.
We had somebody that had a little beef with you, and I'll just say easy there. Don't throw no names out, but I'm just saying we had somebody that had a little bone to pick with you, and you put him in a dilemma. Timmy. You know, we had a little dilemma. You know, this came, you know, we ran a credit check on you and this popped up, son.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. Just saying, hypothetically. Yeah. Maybe your mom lives in Southington. I don't know.
Okay.
Yep. And, you know, during this time of year, you get some snowfall.
All right.
Snow accumulates.
Happens.
Right? Southington may or may not have an ordinance about snow removal. Okay.
24 hours.
24 hours, yeah, something like that. You know, every once in a while, neighbors get a hair across their ass. Hey, my neighbor's walkway isn't shoveled. Some of those people follow through. They call the police. The police respond. You know,
as big deal in the streets of South Central Southern.
It is a
the
big deal.
main street.
Clean that snow, son.
You know, so they do what they're told. The police respond. The homeowner says,
"Do you know who the fuck I am? Do you know who my boys are?" Luckily, my mom ain't got no sidewalks.
Even worse. Yeah, my sons are cops. Did you say you have 2 sons? Yeah, I have 2 sons. And where are they? This is all hypothetical, right?
Hypothetical, of course.
Yeah. It may or may not have been me.
Nope, never. It's all hypothetical.
Yeah. You know, and the officer who responds may or may not have said, well, where are these deadbeat kids that they're not out here shoveling your walkway for you, you know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think I remember that.
I was like, yo, this can't get clean as mom's snow. He's like, yo,
bro.
You know, that shit popped up in the background, son. Sorry.
6 feet to get rid of. Come on now. That's John's job. He lives. John's got it made. Like, that's his job.
Where's that buck?
Uncle JoJo.
Where's that buck that's being passed right now?
That's what I'm saying. Big brothers, big shit rolls.
She paid somebody for that.
You know, that's great. That's freaking
I
great.
remember that too. That's funny.
When he told me about it, I was laughing. He's like, yeah, I went to the dude's mom's house.
Oh,
and he goes, you know, she's like, well, the bike. I was like, huh? He's like, oh, dude.
don't ever say. I always tell my wife, like early in the relationship, I was like, oh, he's a cop. And I'm like, you gotta stop saying that.
Yeah,
Like,
back the fuck up.
stop saying that.
I know.
Tell him I'm in insurance or fucking
He's a butcher at
the
Stu
trash
Leonard's.
business or
He's
something.
a butcher, Stu
Like, this ain't
Leonard's.
old school. People like, oh, you know, people like, oh, this motherfucker.
Like
I don't want
I
no
said,
part of that.
immediately you're marked, whether
Yep.
you're at a party, whatever it is.
You never know. It might be good, might be bad. It's funny
I know.
'cause being in some in your town, like a lot of times, it's pretty good. Like it's a good community.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not used to that.
I'm at the bank one day and I see this dude, and I remember him.
Yeah.
I remember this one dude. He's looking in the glass. He's looking at me. So finally, he gets enough gall and he turns around, and he's a thugged out dude. He's like, "Yo, Poppy, I know you from somewhere," and I'm like, he goes, "Where you work?" So I go, C-Town.
Here we go.
I go, C-Town. I go, meat department. And he goes,
We slicing that turkey.
and he
bro.
goes, nah, he goes, I seen you somewhere. And I go, St. Mary's Wednesday night Bible study. He's like, nah, motherfucker. And he turned around and I totally recognized this dude.
Yeah.
But it was just so
This
funny.
nigga on the block, bro.
Exactly. Dude, I just laughed my ass off and I'm like, dude, I want nothing to do with you, dude. Leave me be. I'm just a bitch ass dude here at Bank of America.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I got that face where a lot of people are like, I know you. I'm like, man, I get that a lot. I feel like I look like people a lot. So whether they do or don't, I'm like, nah, I just look like people.
You got the right eye.
Leave it alone.
So- So how old are you now, Joe?
44.
So Joe, this is the magic phone booth here. If you could go in there and pick up the phone and talk to 20-year-old Joe, 20-year-old Joe, would you give him anything? Would you give him any pointers? If so, what would you give him? Or would you tell him, motherfucker, you're doing it right? Contemplate.
Definitely not doing it right at 20. Nah, I think anybody as you get older.
Hindsight is 2020, as they say.
If you're doing life right,
You're far and few between.
yeah, I feel like, and this is what I think you guys are kind of similar. Like you try to talk to younger people, like man, listen. You try to pass that knowledge.
We're trying.
And most of them don't listen, and I get it. I wouldn't have listened either, but it would have more so been just fucking live and do whatever. Like get the fuck after it.
Isn't that
Like,
consistent?
have
Like,
fun.
everybody, right?
Because I ended up okay. You know what I mean? And even though I didn't work hard, so part of the reason I didn't I don't want to say the reason I didn't go to school, but so I'm an October baby, right? So I started early. So I would have graduated at 17. So I stayed back in second grade.
Mhm.
And there was always this stigma with me where like, because you stay back, like in my head forever, I was like, I'm fucking dumb. Like I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. So like you take that with you.
That was self-imposed. Is that what you're saying?
100%.
Yeah.
And they won't really keep back kids back nowadays. They won't do it. But yeah, I said it recently to my mother, and I was like, like forever. I thought I was stupid. She never said that to me, and I was like, how I felt. You know what I mean? And so I wouldn't necessarily say like.
Shout out to Lance Air. He just hit us on YouTube. He said, "What's up?"
Self-Makarsky.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, he just hit us.
Oh,
He just said this. What's up?
Big D, one of my favorite people out there, man. It's one of the few fucking real people out there.
Yeah.
It would have been just like understand like sometimes when you're getting after, you're doing stupid shit and you're having fun, keep fucking doing it. Like that's your time to do it. I wouldn't say I would ever change anything, but if I go back to younger, like I would have gone to like a big time college and really gotten after it. You know what I mean? Like live the life out of state, like out of mind. Like I went in state and it was fun. I had a good time. But like, yeah, go have fun. Like it's your only time to do it. You get older, like everything changes. And I love my life. Like, having kids, all that, wife, it's great. But those 5 years or so, that's your only time to do whatever you want with no repercussions, really. And even law, like, even if you get arrested, like, go for it. Let's be honest, it goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's nothing. It ain't gonna hinder you from getting a job or whatever people think. Like knowing this side of it now. If I got arrested for a DUI, I'd be like, whatever. Like, lose your license. And I'm not saying
We're not condoning you.
I'm
Slow
not condoning
down.
nothing.
Slow down.
Right. And you know what's funny about that?
Uber.
Just to
Lyft.
speak about that real quick.
What?
So doing the polygraph and working with applicants. So I've been doing it since 2013. So when you get to that question, like when you're going through the packet about how many times you've driven drunk, right? So number one, that's a question that the way I ask that question, because people can think like, oh, that's my interpretation of drunk, right?
What do you call lot?
Right, and I'm very realistic about it. Like I try to make people feel very comfortable. Like, listen, I'm not talking about 0.08. Like I don't need you. You're not a chemist. Like don't do no body math. I go, you're a big boy. You're a big girl. How many times you driven when you knew you got home and you were like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm talking about.
The next day you walk around your car, you're like, any dent in this bitch?
Right. You woke up the next day in your underwear on somebody's front lawn. Like, what the fuck? But
car was in the front yard.
yeah. So what's funny though is like early in the my career, like you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. It's like straight zeros. Because Uber, Lyft. Like why? You could go out and get dismantled.
DWI costs you 12 grand right now.
Yeah.
You averaging one costs you 12 G's right now.
Come pick me up. We need to stop at Taco Bell and then drive me in my house. Boom.
I go get my car tomorrow, and back and forth ran me $50.
Yeah.
And I ain't on the docket Monday morning.
Mm-hmm. I think about it. If I was back in college right now, to think that I could go out and do Uber Eats from 7 to 9:30, make $30 to go out and spend from 9:30 to 11 at the bar that's serving 50-cent pitchers.
Yep. Do the math.
Oh, they got it made, man. And that's what there's a lot of things that have happened, as life has progressed that maybe I don't love, especially like social media. Some of it's great. I like it because you can check out about people you haven't seen in a while. Like, damn, man, he's got kids.
It's got his purpose.
Then you see people, and we've all seen it, that you see these people online, and you're like, man, this person's living a life. And then you see him, you're like, the fuck?
Like Jimmy says, everybody's living their best life.
I always say it. I go, everybody living their best life online, son.
Yeah. As soon as you see it, too, you're like, filters. You don't look like that.
You're like, yeah, bitch, you plateaued in high school. Like for my personal stuff on social media, I got a fake name. Yeah. Dude, if I ain't fuck with you in high school, I still don't fuck with you. Yeah. You was an asshole, now you just an asshole with kids. And you know what I mean? So like I said, I got a fake name because it's not really me. But like I said, man, Joe, it was a pleasure having you on the show. And we could do this all night. You're one of them guys. And unfortunately, we could talk, and I got more bottles on the board. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Time it is. I don't know what time.
We were just talking about drinking and driving, Joe, and the polygraph and all that stuff. So let's maybe offline we can talk more about that.
It's a pleasure having you, brother. People, pick up our boy's book. Pick up our boy's book. Let me give them. Pick up The Web of Deception. They're all on Amazing. It's a whole series with a detective, and get through them. Hopefully someday we'll be watching them on Netflix. And you'll see me.
You can play the role of Carter Webb.
Exactly. No, you got to get a good looking dude. You got to get a good look. Honestly, what my ultimate goal is? I want to make one of these shows like Law and Order as the corpse, like the dead motherfucker.
Ask your boy Dave about his cameo coming up. You got a Netflix cameo.
Nice. Yeah, did you ever see my video that Dave did for me?
Oh yeah, in the back seat. You
saw that?
The first time I fucking met him. I was like, oh goddamn.
Yo, the crazy thing is,
and you still keep on the show?
Yo, the craziest thing is that night.
So let you know where I stand.
Hey, that night, right? So we got in my convertible. He put all his lights up, and we went up to the monument. It's a Friday night.
Here we go.
Yo, it was packed up there.
You weren't the only one up there.
Yo, we pulled up there in my convertible, and bro, that monument was, and it was late night, right? Because we were setting up here for the party.
Left late. Yeah, you left the wrong party,
bro. So because the party was on Saturday night.
Mhm.
So Friday night, we all set up for the party. These monkeys came down. We did a trial run on a paella because we were doing a paella for like 60 people the next
Mhm.
day. So they ran a baby paella run. So Dave shows up late because he got caught up. So he puts the lights up in my convertible, and we head up to the monument. And dog, it was fucking packed. And the best thing is, I got my old lieutenant in the back, duct tape that you saw, and he's like, "Yo, this is out of control." And I was so glad I had Dave in the car with us. I said, "Because if the boys roll up,
Oh yeah.
this ain't gonna look good.
Hey, we're good.
This ain't gonna look
Swear to
good."
God, ain't nothing going
You know,
on here. We're
you know,
straight.
I'm a good talker, but I don't think I was that good.
Yeah.
We would have needed a Bosman that night. But yeah, I had
We're
a,
good Bosman for you.
I had a, I had to ask if you saw the video to that. That was people
You're
were
up my
shocked.
alley, brother.
People
You're up my alley.
were shocked when that video came out. They're like, "Yo,"
Perfect.
they're like, "That's some Tarantino shit."
Oh,
They're
hell
like,
yeah.
"That was not cool."
Big Dave.
So yeah,
That's
well, like
my
I
boy.
said, Tim, any closing words before we walk up out of here?
Yeah.
Go for it, baby. We got the new year coming up. We're almost halfway through the month,
You know,
and it's coming quick. This year flew by.
you can't have $1 million dream on a minimum wage work ethic. Joe, you're putting the work in. You're getting it done. I know good things are coming for you. We're glad to be a part of it.
Damn right.
Coming on the show, man.
I appreciate
All
it,
good
man.
shit.
Thank you.
No matter what happens, money. I'd be lying if I said money wouldn't be great, but I'm happy. You're where I'm at.
I love that,
Whatever
man.
happens, happens.
Money don't buy happiness, but it sure buys fucking
I'm
peace of
gonna bust my
mind.
ass to get it.
You know?
And if I don't, it is what it is.
Exactly.
I know I tried.
Money ain't everything, but it buys a peace of mind, man. And
Appreciate you, fellas.
no, I
Yeah,
thank you
man.
for
Good
coming.
shit.
Thank you for taking time out, man. We know you out there chasing and getting it. Welcome back whenever, man. Bring your boy next time. We'll chat it up with him. And
That'd be an interesting character.
like I said, everybody, like always, man, we got the new year. Let's see if we can be better humans to each other next year. This year flew by. Some of us lost important people in our lives. We took a personal debt. Hudson, you took one, I took one.
Took two.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you took two, man. I took one this year. And you know what I mean? All we could do is try to honor these people who gave to us, who loved us, who inspired us.
No regrets.
Exactly.
No regrets.
My side both spent time here.
You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And, so once again, people, try to be better humans. Let's try to take care of each other. Good night, America, wherever you are.
Really, really good shit. That just fucking flowed. How
I have
long
no
was
idea
it?
how long we're on.
2.5 hours?